Hello, dear Daniele. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me today and to record this video. It's going to be the first in our series of videos of podcast, how we've called them, in the cost action in the Fin AI project that we are both members of. So thank you again for agreeing. And I would like to go to the topic of insurance and machine learning and the importance of interpretability. I know you're working on this field, and I will start with like the basic question. As we all know, technology is entering very fast into the financial sector. The blockchain, the artificial intelligence are very hot topics these days. And I would focus on AI. So why and how is the artificial intelligence so important for the insurance sector? And most importantly, how is the AI changing the insurance sector?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here with you. Insurance sector is drastically changing. We can see this from my point of view in Italy. I mean, I have a lot of contact with large insurance and bank insurance in Italy for my working at the university. And I discovered that nowadays they are very interested in hiring the students which are with great ability in working with data. And most of all, they are interested in people which are able to use machine learning tools. Because in insurance nowadays, prediction is one of the most important challenging. And the largest insurance here in Italy are constructing a laboratory working with machine learning and are also interested in new small company, new startup, which are working with machine learning in innovating the insurance sector. So basically, I think that we can separate in two groups the new changing in the insurance sector. From one point of view, we have the insurance company that want to improve their business exploiting artificial intelligence and machine learning, customer selection, the construction of insurance contracts which are the right insurance contract for that policyholder in order not to lose time with a lot of proposals. Because I mean, we receive millions of emails, plenty of proposals. So if an insurance is able to design a policy contract which is okay for that policyholder, this is a revolution in the business. But also, the prediction is important in insurance in order to compute the flow of money that the insurance will have in receiving payment or in paying to the policyholder. So prediction is the key point in order to improve the business. The second point is the construction of new insurance. I mean, some examples are, for example, to speak about blockchain, but there is from, for example, Allianz, a idea of trying new insurance, which is on the blockchain, working on smart contract on the delay of flights. So I mean, this kind of looking at a new insurance contract is basically something which is mainly focused on fintech startup, on insurtech startup, which are working on this. And the big player, at least here in Italy, are looking to that startup to understand what are the new business model, new kind of policy, not only the classical damage or life insurance contract, that can be created exploiting new technologies.
Thank you, Daniele, very much. And so it's very clear that artificial intelligence in general and the machine learning in particular are very important for the insurance sectors. But please try to touch upon some examples of real applications of these two tools in the finance, in insurance.
Yes, I will show you, for example, two applications which I work with. The first application is something which I've already told you before, is the customer selection. So here, unsupervised learning play a large role in order to make a customer segmentation and find what are the contracts that are good contracts for that policyholder. So first of all, I mean, use all the information that you have on your policyholder to find what is the best contract that we can propose to the policyholder. So this is the first one, I mean. And here there is a large literature on both supervised and unsupervised learning, but it's not only academic literature. Nowadays, something that the insurance are starting to use, because both bank and insurance have a lot of data. I mean, we are, or even if they do not use data, like, for example, Facebook and so on, personal data, but just using their knowledge of the client, they can design the perfect contract for them. So first example is customer classification and segmentation. The second example is something which I work with some colleague of mine in Politecnico Milano and one of the largest bank insurance in Italy, which is the early lapse problem. Because once, I mean, we work on life insurance, and once a policyholder have a contract with a life insurance for several years with yearly payment, in a certain way, the insurance know that there will be a flow of payments from the beginning to the maturity of this contract if the policyholder does not die. However, there could be also an early lapse. The policyholder decides to stop paying the premium, close the contract, because maybe he changed contract and got with another insurance. And this is something important for the two reasons. First of all, be able to predict what will be the future flow of payment. And secondly, not to lose the client. And it is well known that this kind of prediction of early lapse is not an easy topic. Because if you use some classical tool like linear regression, logistic regression, basically, and exploiting knowledge like economy knowledge, data of the client, and so on, you are not able to predict it. I mean, there are classical use that say that, okay, logistic regression is not able to predict this. And what we did is to try to change, moving not only to the classical logistic regression, but to use other kind of classifier in the supervised learning approach. We use XGBoost, random forest. We tried several of them and found that random forest overperform logistic regression in a large way. And now with these machine learning techniques, we are able to give a machinery which give you a large accuracy. And so you can say, okay, now you can trust this machine. I mean, because your data will give you your data plus your black box on the machine learning side can give you a realistic scenario on the early lapse.
Thank you very much, Daniele. Very interesting point with the last application that you've presented. And I would stop on interpretability. So why in this very large revolution of machine learning is interpretability such an important issue?
Interpretability is nowadays the important issue in machine learning because we are using techniques random forest, neural network, and so on, that are techniques that have been used for several years. Now we have computer, we have data, we can use these at the maximum power, but I mean, they are known. But in fintech and in insurtech, today, the key point is interpretability. Because I mean, okay, there are basically two things. The first thing is that you are deciding a business plan exploiting a black box. What are the clients that I have to contact? And the administration part of the insurance will say, okay, why? So you must be able to tell you what is the reason why you have to contact this customer or not. You are creating a early lapse prevention machine, and you want to discuss with, for example, a IOPA. Say, okay, this works well. Why? Because the answer is why. Because we have always to think that we're moving from white box to black box. White box do not predict well, but they are white box. We know exactly the reason why we have these results. Black box have a large prediction, but in fintech and in insurtech, we cannot stop to say, okay, it is like this because it's the output of the black box. So interpretability issue nowadays, for the business point of view, must be, let's say, the key point, because we have to put together two words, the machine learning words and the business world. And nowadays we are not ready, and I hope that we will never be ready to have a business model which is 100% in the end of the black box. The second point is a regulatory point, because I mean, if this is more on the bank, but not it's similar for insurance. Assume that you have a mortgage, for a person call for a bank for having a mortgage, and the black box say, okay, no, this person has a large probability to default, so we do not give him a mortgage. And then for the regulatory point of view, you should be able to say why, the reason why you do not give him a mortgage. Same for insurance. Give the reason why you do not want to sign an insurance contract with that person at that condition, but you put worse condition. And I mean, you cannot stop to say it's a black box. From a legal point of view, you should be able, you must be able to say the reason why. And here it's interpretability. Data plus the black box give you these results. Okay, but what is the reason why from this data you arrive to these results? This is the interpretability. And this is the most interesting point nowadays for us as academic and also for the industry, because there are a lot of interpretability instruments, but most of the time they lack for stability. If I change a little bit the data, I obtain completely different results, and this is unacceptable. So now is the main issue. We know that we will not be able to have a full interpretability, otherwise it's not a black box, but we can improve it, and we must improve it.
Thank you very much for the very useful explanation, Daniele, and I'm sure it's going to be very useful for people deciding to watch the video. And you've showed clearly why interpretability is one of the key issues nowadays, if not, as you said, the key issue. But I would try to look a little bit towards the future, and please try to give us our view, to give us your view. What do you expect in the, let's say, near future, the next 2-3 years maximum? What do you expect to be the next hot topics in finance, insurance, mixed with technology?
My feeling is that interpretability will remain the most point to be discussed in the next year. From one point of view, we have to decide together with the regulator, which kind of black box can be used and are acceptable for the regulator, even without explainability, if any, because the regulator can say, okay, no, I want full explainability. And this is one of the first things that will be to discuss. And I think that explainability will remain the main topic for fintech and insurtech. For fintech, I think that in the next, that we will have also an improvement of investment fund, 100% under the control of a black box.
Thank you very much. So everybody has to prepare and work towards explainability. So understanding what the black box are doing, and hopefully the research done by by our colleagues in these cost actions and the events, the meetings that we'll have, will also contribute towards having a better explainability, interpretability of the models. So this research will go into practice and innovation will emerge. So thank you again, Daniele, for your time and for agreeing to record this video, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.